Hello guys, welcome to YouTube channel for Mania. So in today's video, we are going to compare the iQOO 9 Pro versus the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So you guys know that Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra is a 1-year-old flagship versus the latest 2022 from the iQOO. Okay, so this phone cost just 70k, and meanwhile this was cost around 1,05,000 1 year ago. So we are going to compare the latest S22 Ultra is being launched. So now we are going to compare this right against the iQOO 9 Pro, because the second market, that means the used phones market, is approximately same as these guys now at the current scenario. So let's compare these both. So first of all, let's start from the build and design. And if you ask me, both are feeling really premium in the hands, if you ask me. Okay, so that means the premium aluminum frame, the glass back and all. But if you ask me in detail, then I would say the Galaxy S21 Ultra feels more premium, if you ask me, because this looks a really classic premium versus this is a sort of fancy premium. It's really subjective. If you ask me, I would like the S21 Ultra a bit more because of the classic premium black look, as well as this design aesthetics and all. And regarding the main thing, the Galaxy S21 comes with Corning Gorilla 7 Victus on the back versus just a glass back, and on the front the iQOO 9 Pro from 2022 flagship category just using Panda glass. So that's really inferior if you compare with the Corning Gorilla 5 Corning Gorillas, but this has Corning Gorilla 7 on the front as well as Corning Gorilla 7 on the back. So that's a really nice thing if you compare them both. So in terms of the protection, I would say the Galaxy S21 Ultra is way ahead of the iQOO 9 Pro. This just have Panda glass, and the back is just having a glass, and so this having both the Corning Gorilla 7 protection on the front and the back. And the next thing would be the I would say, see, the thickness. So the Galaxy S21 comes with 8.9, almost, this is almost same 8.8 mm. And if you ask me the weight, actually this is a very light, this is just 294 grams and have an even distribution. You can see it's even distribution. But if you ask me, this is not an even distribution, this is a top load phone, because actually because of the camera module, this is a bit top load. You can see it's a bit top load, and it weighs 227 grams. And the next thing would be the IP rating. This just have a IP52 dust and water resistance, but this has a proper IP68 dust and water resistance. Actually this doesn't, IP52 is not water resistant. Actually I would say it is a sort of a light splash and light dust resistant, not like fully IP68 dust and water. So it's inferior if you compare with the 70k mark. This is cost 69,999 in India. So in 69,999 it doesn't have a proper Corning Gorilla's protection like 5, 7, nothing, just using a Panda glass on the front, and as well as no official IP rating, just have an IP52 light splash resistance. So that these two are the bad cons which I mentioned about the iQOO 9 Pro. But the Galaxy S21 Ultra is superb in terms of the build, design and everything, and looks is subjective. Okay, and obviously the next thing would be the display. So let's move to the displays. So guys, the display iQOO 9 Pro versus Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So you can see both are Quad HD displays and having a really nice pixels resolution and all. And if you ask me in detail, the Galaxy S21 Ultra is having dynamic AMOLED 2x, 120Hz refresh rate, and having 1500 nits of peak brightness, HDR10 support and all. And if you ask me about the resolution, then I would say 1440 to 3200. So it's a Quad HD display. And if you ask me, the iQOO 9 Pro is having the same LTPO AMOLED display and HDR10 plus 1500 nits of peak brightness and 1440 to 3200 with 518p. So in terms of display, both are neck and neck. And in person, if you ask me which is slightly better, then it would take me time, and I would say that the Galaxy S21 Ultra would be a bit, let's wait. So guys, let's look at the colors. And if you ask me, the colors is bit more saturated on the iQOO. That means I would say the colors is more saturated. That means if you're looking for the green is a bit more, approximately a 2 to 3% of the color is difference over there. So I would prefer both, but actually if you ask me which is the brightest and a bit more in this scenario, both are almost neck and neck. But in some scenarios, very light scenarios, I think let's look at this see the red is a bit more deeper than that of the Galaxy S21 Ultra by a margin of approximately 2%. So a slight, very light win for the iQOO 9 Pro. But I would say both are neck and neck, but a slight more color vibrancy. Actually, it depends upon your personal preference. If you like natural looking colors, then S21 Ultra would be you. If you like a bit artificial or a bit more saturated than normal colors, then you would like the iQOO 9 Pro. Now let's switch to the audio. So guys, next the audio quality. So Galaxy S21 Ultra versus iQOO 9 Pro. So let's first play the iQOO 9 Pro. Now let's switch to the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Oh. So guys, at a glance itself, you can notice that the Galaxy S21 Ultra's sound quality is really high. And I would give an example once more. Disco Climax. Ooh. Okay, IQ. Okay. Now let's wait for him. S21 Ultra. Oh. So guys, the Galaxy S21 Ultra is definitely better in terms of display. If you ask me about the marginal difference, then I would say approximately about 5%. The 3 to 5%. If you ask me in precise, I would say the difference would be around 3 to 5%. Now, regarding the processor, there is a huge margin between both. I would say this is the Indian version and having the Exynos 2100 versus the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and I would show you the CPU throttle test as well as the Aduntu benchmark scores. So guys, this is the scores, and you can see it's a clear win, heavy win for the almost double the scores on the iQOO 9 Pro. So that's a clear heavy win for the iQOO 9 Pro because of it's having the Snapdragon latest 8 Gen 1 with LPDDR5 UFS 3.1, and this have the UFS LPDDR5 as well as UFS 3.1, but still the processor is not as that great of the iQOO 9 Pro. So that's the main reason. This is the storage speeds of both. That was almost negative because of the same LPDDR5 and UFS 3.1. And this is the Geekbench scores of both 702 single core on the S21 Ultra, 1130 single core on the iQOO 9 Pro, 2941 multi-core on the S21 Ultra, 3635 on the multi-core on the iQOO 9 Pro. So that's also too high for the iQOO 9 Pro. And this is a CPU roll times, and you can see that actually the iQOO 9 Pro performance, you can see on the top, just on the top we have the nice green graph, then it's gradually decreased to a stable performance. It was around 70% after approximately 5 minutes. You can see it's around after the 5 minute mark, then the CPU got throttled up to, that means if the CPU can do 100 watts at a time at the starting point, then it would only do just what we call 70 works after 5 minute mark. But this guy actually, this kept really nice up to the about 15 for about 10 minutes. This guy just went around 90 around percentage, but after that quickly just got you can see there is a huge drain after the 10 minutes, and you can see that's why the reason we just got a 70%. Elsewhere it will be around 80 to 85%. So that's after 1 year of optimization, the Galaxy S21 Ultra just. So in this test, I would say the winner would be the S21 Ultra. But if you ask me, this 8 Gen 1 is a really new chip, so it means high range of optimization, as well as though the phone is a bit warm all the times. Actually, if you using the phone for the normal day-to-day tasks and all, the phone is a bit warm. Not I would say it's an overheating all, but the phone is generally a bit warm. Apart from that, it's really nice. Okay. So guys, now the next most interesting feature which I have felt on the iQOO 9 Pro is regarding the fingerprint scanner. Actually, it is blazing fast. I would say give an example right now. Let's move to the fingerprints and type the pin, and I would add a fingerprint, and let me add this finger over there, and you can see how much time does it take. 3, 2, 1, go. Just a second. Okay, you can see just a second the fingerprint is registered, and same I'm doing with the Galaxy S21 Ultra, and you can see the difference. And add fingerprint, so start scanning set of tip of fingerprint, and you can see okay, 20, 30, okay, see, okay, see. So it is saying that make sure you register your fingerprint in a different location with your finger and all. See, it takes about nearly 10 seconds for the phone to unlock. Let me lock both of them, and let's see, 3, 2, 1, and go. Unlocked. And let's see on the S21 Ultra. So unlocking is fast, but the registration is really blazing fast on the iQOO 9 Pro. Let's check the fingerprint scanners. 3, 2, 1, and okay. So once again in 3, 2, 1, and go. So really fast on both. As well as the face recognition, it's really fast. Now let's move to the main thing, that's the cameras. So if you ask me the cameras, the Galaxy S21 Ultra have a 108 MP main camera with OIS, and then we have two telephoto. That means one is a periscope telephoto 10 MP, and then next is a 10 MP normal telephoto which is capable of 3x, and the periscope would be capable of 10x optical with 100x digital zoom. And then we have a 12 MP ultra. But over here we have a 50 MP gimbal stabilization camera, then we have a 16 MP telephoto, and then we have a 50 MP ultra wide. Then if you ask me regarding a front camera, I would show you the samples also. Okay, so which having a 50 MP front, 40 MP front camera versus just 16 MP. So in terms of camera, I would give you the camera samples as well. Then we can add then after on we can just decide. So guys, in terms of stabilization, the Galaxy S21 Ultra and the iQOO 9 Pro were almost neck and neck. But if you ask me in detail, the stabilization for the video would be going to the iQOO 9. But apart from that, if you ask me the color, saturation, and the natural looking photos, the portrait blur and all, actually I would prefer the S21 Ultra a bit ahead of the iQOO 9 Pro, because I like the color saturation of the Galaxy S21 Ultra a bit more than the iQOO 9 Pro. iQOO 9 Pro is really nice. I'm not saying it's bad, but if you compare with the Galaxy S21 Ultra's 100x telephoto, that means the zooming, it's just have 30x zooming, and as well as the modes, director's view, multiple pro video modes. That's which is missing on the iQOO 9 Pro. And I would show you the camera modes too, and you can see, so it have hyper normal, that means you can see pro video mode. It just have a pro photo mode only, no pro video mode. So that's, and we also have a director's view which we can choose which camera we can turn on. See, you can have 3 camera options, but over here we have a dual view too, but just using a 1 back camera and 1 front camera. But this have 3, you can switch between the 3 cameras on the back, and also that's a really nice feature. And then we have the portrait night mode on both. Then we have extra in addition single take mode, which takes multiple random videos, random photos, and also that's also really nice. And then we have the maximum resolution 108 MB modes, and also in term and over, then the next thing would be a clear winner in the terms of front camera is the Galaxy S21 Ultra, because the resolution, the quality of the picture is really high on the Galaxy S21. So I would say in terms of the camera, I would say 5% more win for the Galaxy S21 Ultra. The Galaxy S21 Ultra is a bit more if you compare with the iQOO 9 Pro, but still the iQOO 9 Pro is really worth. I have nothing to say bad about the iQOO 9 Pro. In comparison, I felt the Galaxy S21 Ultra a bit higher. And then regarding the battery and storage, this is the clear winner with 4700 mAh with 120 watt charger, approximately charge around 25 minutes 1 to 100, and this guy takes about 1 hour to take full charge with the 25 watt charger, and not coming within the box, and having 15 watts of wireless charging versus 50 versus 15 watts of wireless charging, and then 10 watts of reverse wireless charging versus this 4.5 watts of wireless charging. So I would say the clear winner would be the iQOO 9 Pro in terms of the battery and charging, and next would be the UI. So that I would say that's clear winner. This nothing to say about the UI. The UI is neat, clean, one-handed optimization is really high, feature rich, everything is really nice. And on the other hand, the iQOO 9 Pro's UI is also nice, but in comparison the one UI, I would give a clear win for the Galaxy S21 Ultra. So for example, if I am using, so these are both are large fonts, so I need to what we call grab the notification panel. You can see, just swipe down, still I can't access, like I need to adjust my finger to reach the Wi-Fi. But in this case, so just I'm swiping down and see my entire the view. This is the viewing area and this is the interaction area. So one UI is very much optimized for 100 users. You can see the difference in both. So just swipe down again, see, can't access versus access. So that's the reasons, and proper updates for this phone, Galaxy S21 Ultra. Proper updates. Even my what we call 3-year-old Galaxy Note and Plus received the proper One UI 4 updates long ago with Android 12 and all. So that's really nice. So and also this has the S Pen support too. So if you ask me which is better, then I would say it depends upon your purchase. If you're looking for a fancy, eye-catching and unique look, the iQOO 9 Pro. Then if you're a gamer, no doubt iQOO 9 Pro. Then for the battery and charging also. So gaming, battery and charging, those areas along with cameras, I would say not cameras fully, but I agree cameras are also good. Then iQOO 9 Pro. Then if you ask me about the features, UI, build quality, and so on features, and along with the exceptional camera, outstanding camera, then I would say the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Okay, so let me comment down below which one do you think is best. Okay, so guys, that's all for today. Signing off, it's Phone Mania.